Hello, Unscripted, and welcome to yet another episode on my channel. I am Gladys Nyambura, and you are Unscripted. Today I'm holding a spoon. It's a spoon, and the reason I'm holding this spoon is because I want to show you my home remedy for a toothache. Now, um, I've been having toothaches for such a long time, for years, let me just say. And the reason I've been having these toothaches is because, well, it could be because of the amount of sugar intake I used to do. And also, I used to really like sweets. And also, like later on in life, I found myself in an environment where the water was extremely salty. And so that could have led to like cavity, but other than that, and also there are also like other issues that could have probably contributed to that. And some of the causes of a headache and a toothache are like due to like an infection in your mouth, in your cavity, and so many other reasons. I don't even know what I just said, but okay, some of the causes of a toothache, that's what I meant to say. An infection in your mouth, tooth decay, cavities, and what else? Many more. No doctor here. So, so I believe my toothache has been contributed to by some reasons, not to exempt the salty water I use, and also the amount of sugar intake, as well as I don't know any other reason. Actually, I don't know any other reason, because I observe good hygiene in my mouth, and currently I'm very keen on the things that I eat. So I think that's it. So my teeth problem, okay, let me just give you like a very short backstory. I won't bore you with the details. So some years back, I started growing my wisdom teeth. So I cannot remember which ones grew first, but I would like to assume it's the lower ones and then the upper ones. So they grew, and I did have a problem with that because there wasn't like enough space for them to fit in my mouth, rather in my gums. Like there wasn't like enough space, and so what I ended up doing is having a minor procedure done on the gum. It was just cut, like to what is it called, like the like the place where the wisdom tooth was growing. I didn't have like enough space there on the gum, so I underwent like a minor procedure, and they cut like the gum around it so the tooth could actually shoot. Because I used to have like problems with, especially with chewing, and I'd have like foodstuffs stuck in there, and that wasn't pleasant because it would lead to like pain, lots of pain. Keep in mind the tooth was not like fully out or fully grown, and so that was a menace. So I'd have like pain, and two, I'd probably end up maybe, with bad mouth odor, and you don't want that. No, you don't want that. And so I had that like extracted, not extracted, but really just cut. It was just a very minor procedure because I went home the next day. It took less than an hour, and I don't know, it wasn't painful because the doctor was very nice. It was a guy. Actually, most of the procedures I've had done were men that did them. So I'm really grateful to like each of you. So with the gum, I had it done in Gallants, and they were very nice to me. And so later on in life, so I don't know if that's where the root problem started, but after several years, every other month I would find myself having a migraine. And migraines are the worst because let me just talk about my migraine. Um, so my migraines happen every month, and every month that I have a migraine, I know that's just a sign for something going wrong in my body. So um I had not like comprehended that the migraine is happening because of a tooth up until way later on, like some, when was it, in 2021. That's when I realized this is a tooth causing like the migraines. And so one of the episodes that I've had with a severe case of migraine was, I was just standing and I had like this bad headache. And my headache just normally happens on one side. It's just like it's just a migraine. It just happens on this left side of my face, and so it goes up to around this part, like halfway to the back. So and then to like the ear and this bit like this, and then it also goes to like the neck. So um one time I had like this episode. I was just in church. I was just in church and I had this bad migraine, and I did not want to like listen to the pastor anymore. And so, because I could literally not see, and this is not like the first time it's happening. It's only that when it was happening, this time round, I knew what it was. And so on on this side of my face, I realized that it was dark, like I could literally not see. Well, in the morning, before I went to church, my eye was red. So my eye was red, but then I knew, this is just a minor headache. It's just going to go away. And then when I go to church, there's this thing that worsens my migraine. The smell of people's perfume and loud noise, lights, and basically anything that's moving. Like I cannot tolerate anything when I have a migraine. And so on this day, I'm going to like a very busy place, which is a church. There's lots of noise, there's people's perfumes, there's just distraction. And so I just went in, but then when I stood, I could not, like there was like a black, there was some darkness on my left side of the ear. It's only that when I turned, I could see. When I completely like turned my face, that I could see. But when I looked, when I'm looking forward and I just try to like turn my eyes like this, it was entirely dark, and that got me so worried. So what I decided to do was that these places that kids normally go to sleep. So I just got out of the church and I went and sat in one of the mattresses that the young kids go to sleep. So when I went and sat there, I realized that I was very comfortable and it was more of a relief. And so I closed my eyes, and the next minute I knew I was laying on my back, and that's how I found myself asleep. I don't know if the cause of that specific migraine was sleep deprivation. I don't know, but maybe I was just fatigued, but I don't know. However, like over the years, I've come to realize that. So like I kept like a diary of the things that were happening in my life every day, and one thing that was common was the fact that I was having a headache every month, and that's how I came to know. So over the years, like if there's something that I've been struggling with, is a toothache every other month. And so like early this year, I decided maybe it's high time I keep track of the dates that I have a toothache. Let me just read them out for you. So like on the 27th of January, February, March, April. On the 27th of April, I had a headache. On the 13th of May, I had a headache. And then on the 4th of, oh my god, there's so much noise. On the 4th of June, I had a headache. On the 8th of July, I had a headache. And then on August and September, I didn't record. And on the 21st of October, I had a headache. On the 28th of October, I had another headache. And then today is the 24th, and I have a headache. And all these dates that I've recorded, the headache is accompanied by a toothache. So that's how I came to realize that this is something that happens every month, and I was supposed to be extremely careful. So, and I'm this kind of a person that does not really like taking medication because of, I don't know, like the implications, I guess. But when needed to, I take medication. So, for example, there was this time that the headache and the toothache was so persistent to an extent I could not like leave the house. So here's how I get rid of my migraine, or not like totally get rid of that. I'll tell you later in a few. But this is how I like my environment to be when I have a migraine. For starters, I like blacked out curtains. I like the room to be extremely dark. And like the previous house that I was in before moving into this one, which is far away, well, not so far away, but well, same country. Well, like the previous house that I was in, uh, there was a time that I would like draw the curtains, and the room would be not so dark, but it was really helpful. So like with this house, I like it because there's lots of light getting in, but it doesn't like give me that environment where I can just have like a fully blacked out room. And so I just like to lie down when I have a headache. I like to lie down, and then if there's any noise in my house, I reduce it. If there are any switches that are on, I switch them off. It doesn't matter if it's the Wi-Fi, it's what, I just literally switch them off. If there's a smell from the food, from perfume, I just make sure that I get rid of it. Because all I want is to lie down, not smell anything, not to see anything, and not to hear anything at all. Just to lie down and stay relaxed. Because when a migraine hits, and let me tell you, if it finds me like in a, like maybe probably when I'm walking, or maybe in an area that probably I'm using like a laptop, or maybe there's just like generally light, I'm more likely not to survive, because it's torture in disguise. And so given that I'm not really like a fan of painkillers, and with my headache and my toothache, there's only one response to it. I have to just take Maramoja. Maramoja is a painkiller in Kenya, so I believe it's. Let me not state things that I don't know, because this could lead like to a good or bad reputation of the company, and so let me not say anything. But the only medication that relieves my pain is Maramoja. Any other painkiller, and I have tried that, any other painkiller doesn't work for me. I don't know if it's because I'm just used to the one, but it's the only one that works for me. And so it just shows how effective that is. And this is not like a promo or anything. I'm just stating facts about what works for me. So the brand Maramoja, they cost like 10 cents, and then it's a pair. It's a pair of two. It's a pair. Yeah, it's basically a pair. And so that's what I take That's what I take every time that I have a very persistent headache, and also like accompanied probably by a toothache. Now, given that most of the times when I took medication, or maybe like whenever I find myself without the medication, or like in a place that I cannot access the medication, which is most of the times, I don't know why. Like today, like I could sense yesterday something was coming. Like I sort of had like this slight headache, and then it went away and then came back. So I knew by the time I'm waking up today, it will be like a full migraine. And then I knew that was a toothache coming. So at the moment, the place that I normally get my meds is not open today. So that means that I have to like go with another option, and this option always works for me. And let me tell you how it works. Okay, I feel like I should be like an ambassador of this um household ingredient. However, it's, I don't know, I've never seen an advert for salt. So salt is what I normally use to relieve my headache and my migraine. So here's how it works. Let me just explain it to you first and then let you know. Have you ever like put salt on your lips, or maybe on your tongue? If you have, this is what happens. If you haven't, at least this is what happens. And if you have and cannot remember, or for some reason you cannot take salt, let me just refresh your mind. So if you take salt and you put it on your lips, what happens is that your lips feel as if they are inflamed. And it's the same reason that I normally use salt to relieve my headache and my migraine. So I've already identified the place of the origin of the pain in my mouth. I know the place where the pain is coming from, and it's on my left side, the upper jaw. So what I normally do is the same thing applies to the jaw. So when you put salt, and then um, when you put salt on your upper jaw, it makes, and you know the exact area, and I know the exact area. What happens is the salt makes the area inflamed, and so any pain that's any strain coming from your jaw, or maybe I don't know. I don't know how to explain that, but I just know like the inflammation really helps. Maybe I wish, now I'm just regretting because I wish I had done like a little bit of research about putting salt in an inflamed, like in a place that has salt. It makes it inflamed, and then it reduces the pain, not immediately, but sort of within minutes. And it's the same procedure that I use on me. Now I'm regretting this decision, but it's okay. I know why I'm regretting. So this is my teaspoon, just a small spoon. This is my teaspoon, and so what I normally do is I just take a bit of salt. You cannot afford to like take a lot of salt, because just take as much salt as you can, the one that you know you can deal with. And another thing, maybe I'll not talk after this, but I know I'll talk later on. But anyway, so this is the amount of salt that I take. It's like a quarter teaspoon. And so I take it, and then I put it in my mouth, and then I push it to the area that the pain is originating from. And after I do that, I let it sit for like, I could let it sit for like 5 minutes, or maybe more, depending on the amount of saliva that you can hold in your mouth. However, I want you to know that you cannot swallow this saliva, because it's like the amount of salt in your mouth is just a lot, and it could lead maybe to you like being dehydrated like almost immediately, but it's something that you can handle. Yeah. And if you do happen to like maybe sort of swallow it, make sure that you drink lots of water. And this is in a video that I did of like salt helping you lose weight immediately after you wake up, as a procedure, as a morning routine, I mean. I say that if you're not used to like taking water on a daily, the whole process of like the whole morning routine is going to like enable you to like yearn to take water on a daily, even like more than 2 liters and more. Yeah, so this is my salt. I'm going to take it and then push it to the area that the pain is originating from. So yeah. So I'm just from spitting that out. So at this point, I can already feel like the effect of the salt. My, what is it called? Like my left cheek and my right cheek feel like this, the area, like the surface feels very soft. My lower and upper palate also feel soft. My, like the inside of my lips, the lower ones and the upper ones feel as well soft. And then I know that is a sign of inflammation, and it's going to be really, really helpful. Now, at this point, my mouth is quite sensitive, and so I'm just going to like give it a rest, and maybe in like about 5 minutes, I'm going to be sipping water little by little, because that's now going to help in the, like it's going to like help me not to be dehydrated, because the salts has been absorbed by so many, like the entire mouth. I don't know, you see how that looks? Like even my tongue looks sort of white, and I don't like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be sipping a little bit of water, like just little by little. That is after 5 minutes, because I know by then I'll have started, like the normal flow of saliva in my mouth will have started. Yeah, it's a bit too sensitive right now for me to be taking water, and I feel like my mouth is sort of dry, and so I'm going to just I'm just going to like let the natural process of what is it called, saliva, to be generated, and then I'm going to like accompany it with more water. Yeah, like that, because I know the amount of the absorption that happened when I had like the salt in my mouth was immense, and so I just have to wait. I just have to be like a little bit patient, but already I can already feel the effects of the salt. My headache is, I can't really feel my headache, and I know like how, like in the morning when I woke up, um this side of my eye, this side of my face was hurting. My eye was hurting, especially from the back. Well, there's nothing, the only way that you can know that my eye hurts is, and there's pain at the back, is if it's swollen and if you see some redness in it. But at the moment I don't feel anything. I can already feel like the pain has been suppressed, and I don't want to expose my teeth or my mouth that much, and so that's why I'm going to like sort of end this video in a few, so that I can, in 5 minutes, I can sip my water and hydrate. Yeah, this method is very helpful to you. So when you do have a headache, when you do have like a toothache, or maybe like a headache, so I don't know if this works for a headache. I'm yet to like sort of experiment it, but for me, it get like, the aim of trying out salt was so I could get rid of my migraine, no, like of my toothache, and it works. And I realized that it also like gets rid of my migraine. Now the difference is I know the reason I have migraines every other month, and so when I identified that it was my tooth, that's when I realized I should do something about it. So I wouldn't really say that, so like this process works for a migraine or like a headache, because solely I know what brings mine, and it's a toothache. So I'm dealing with a toothache, so I can get rid of everything. So like the moment my toothache stops, I know the migraine is gone. So that's why I'm not sure if the same works for headache or migraine. Yeah, so that's it from me. I hope that you find this video to be helpful to you, and in this festive season, love each other, love your family, love your friends, love yourself above all, and love God. I have been your pretty host, Gladys Nyambura, and you are unscripted. Bye bye and Merry Christmas.